which is Grohe, one of the most celebrated brands, and I think you use them. In one of the forums, it said, when you take a bath and you get under the shower, you actually waste a lot of water. But could go back to our old days when we used to have a bucket and a mug, and that's it, and we used to save a lot of water. So where is all this going to? Where is this awareness? Where is this point? I mean, I'm sorry. Where are we going to create this education amongst our clients?
I will give one example regarding lead points. Sometimes they are absolutely not logical. There is one point. If you will get 2 points, if you are putting cycle stand near your office. Right now, suppose the employee is staying at grocery and is coming to Korwa. It is absolutely not practical to come by cycle. So sometimes these points are not logical, and if you are not getting those points, but still the building will be sustainable. That is my.
One more. I disagree to him, because if you move across to the European countries, I was there in Austria and very recently. What they do is they have railways, and the moment you get down, they have the cycles for you, and then you drive. You just have to cycle a few kilometers or maybe something like that to reach your destination. Now that is where they don't really require. You hardly see any cars on the streets. Now that's where we save a tremendous amount of fuel and everything like that.
India, sometimes it is not possible, so you have to modify those particular points as per our standards.
I think what you were talking about was one of the best example is Amsterdam. Okay, but there the scenario is different. Those bicycles are rented by the government, and they can. It doesn't become a liability on those users. So they can travel by bicycle. They can change it. They can go by waterways, and they can go by train. They have multiple mode of traveling to choose for. But in India, in Pune, if you remember, 10-15 years back, there were a lot of bicycles in Pune. Then the PMC made a lot of bicycle tracks. But today, do you find any bicycles on those bicycle tracks? Because it is practically not possible, as he says, to come to camp from say Kothur on a bicycle. If it was if it was a foreign country, we would have chosen multiple mode of traveling. So that facility is not here, and because of that, it is not successful. That's what I think.
Oh, what I mean is the architect should recommend it to the corporation or whosoever is the authority that this is something what we can do to save these things. You just have there is an entire water body available for you, the entire river across, which is the same thing in Austria where Vienna is used, and I think it's quite similar. Or he was talking about Amsterdam, where tram is still running, where cycle is still running, and I saw multi-storied cycle parks, which is a very common sight in Europe. So if we can think about this, we don't think about the alternatives at all. We are straight away jumping into two-wheelers and causing a lot of accidents to ourselves, and jumping into sanchetis, doing a lot of business, giving a lot of business to them.
I think in this case, a lot of role has to be played by the government, the authority which runs the cities. I think then sustainability will really come into practice in India.
I think sustainability, I think we taught the West. I think we all love to ape the best practices from there. But look in the case in 1980s, the McDonald's opened, these guys will get into the car, get down the windows and, just litter on the road. You see the Coke cans and everything on the road. I think we as a country are more sensitive to that. So I would like to ask you, is the West really helped us? Or do you think we have been the torch bearers when it comes to sustainability in terms of a design, which has been the very basic ethos, and it's been there with us in the legacy? You see our fort, you see our old heritage sites.
I don't think sustainability is not at all new to India. If you see our traditional architecture, it had been implemented. It's being implemented even today in some parts of the country. I think the techniques or the principles that we talked about, using vernacular materials and labor and all that, was always used. And even the planning, if you see the planning of the old traditional architecture in India, it was quite climate responsive. It was what suited for the climate and not for aesthetic purpose. But I think because of this globalization now, we are going away from it. We are simply copying the West. And I don't think West has really helped us in having any kind of sustainable techniques here that way.
This question, I think in the keynote word heard about aesthetics, but I'm just going to say how aesthetics and sustainability can go hand in hand together.
I think I would again like to repeat that in one of your questions, it is like aesthetics, function and sustainability, right?
Yeah.
So I would again like to repeat that we should not forget that Earth is our primary client for any kind of development on it. So sustainability comes first, obviously, and then function, and then aesthetics is the last.
I think if I go to the academics, then aesthetics is actually a human sensitivity to color, texture, pattern, and those things we teach. So are we talking, the first thing we talk about is color. People think that they know a lot about color. They do not know that the greatest pleasure that one gets psychologically is from green. And the maximum green that we go in for with natural resources, I think that is where the comfort lies. I still remember I made an experiment with one of the the surgeons, the leading surgeons of Pune. Having dissected so many of bodies every day, he could not sleep. He could not get the right sleep. And then I designed on his bed, on his own existing bungalow terrace, a bathroom which has got a glass roof where he can see Poonam ka Chand. And then believe me that he started getting sleep. He started counting the movement of the moon, and he is nowadays having a very beautiful sleep and does a couple of operations more.
So I'm going to probably come to the last question, and you've really thrown light on sustainability and what it means to you. I'm going to ask you, each one of you, which is your favorite building or a project and why? It can start any order, so you can actually start. He's thinking, so you can start anywhere.
Is it from a sustainable point of view?
Yeah. Your favorite building, not necessarily yours, you have done it, it could be anybody else.
I wouldn't say a favorite building, but I think I would like to talk about a favorite architectural practice that Jeffrey Bawa from Sri Lanka really implemented a lot of sustainability.
One of his hotels is also very nice in Sri Lanka.
Definitely.
You haven't answered my question.
That's what I said. I do not have a favorite building as such.
No?
But the practice of Jeffrey Bawa, which is...
Would you like to share this practice to the
Yeah,
audience?
I think some of his buildings like...
He's a phenomenal hotel, so I'm just going to ask him
We're talking about that, yeah.
You must go and see that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You will never see the 5 stories that he has done, From a distance, you will never make it out as a 5-storied hotel. You will only see the greenery all around. Is that correct, sir?
Yeah.
Well, I was associated with Kane Yang for some of the projects, and I'm very much impressed with what Kane Yang does. He has in fact presented a book which he has himself written, and it's all about creating open spaces, bringing in sunlight within the building, having a beautiful landscapes on all the floors, although the buildings are multi-storied, and a lot of examples that you see in Singapore of his works and in Malaysia. Solaris is the one I think most of the people would probably know. So these are some of the very interesting works that he has done. And if we can do, I think, 10 to 15% of what he is doing today in the world, I think we will be achieving at least a first step to sustainable architecture in India.
Sure.
Actually, I am fan of architect Tada Ando. I have seen so many buildings in Japan. There are some museums, some institutional buildings and libraries. They are absolutely sustainable. And also, I like Jeffrey Bawa's, I remember some buildings.
Great, so we are all in liking with Jeffrey Bawa, right? We will head off for cocktails and dinner, and until and unless we get about 3 very good questions, and you're more than welcome to ask 5. So we'll only break in for cocktails and dinner, provided we have 3 questions minimum, more welcome. Come on, please raise your hand, identify yourself, and have a question. Come on, Pune, you don't have a question? Okay, so I don't want to stand in between, the cocktails and dinner. I think we had a very good round of discussion. I think the content was very enriching. We straddled across the spectrum of saying that green is not a fad. It's no longer a fad, it's a reality. We looked at sustainability right from the very basics to the technology to the innovation. All have to be getting integrated. Conscious level as individuals, as society, as country, and government has a huge role to play. But before that, I think each individual, I think we have to start this journey. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being such a patient audience to this. Thank you, sir.
So ladies and gentlemen, we need to have a big round of applause for all our architects here, wonderful professionals who really shared their time, their thought, and their experience here with us, making it more meaningful in this discussion and adding just the right amount of light, for us. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a moment off to felicitate and honor our, eminent panelists who are here with us. And I request Mr. Ankur Tiwari, Regional Sales Manager, to kindly do the honors. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, at Nerolac Earth Matters only continues to grow in terms of its, its awakening, the right kind of professionals, touching the right kind of people, and yes, it is a step that is all important to take a bigger leap. So I hope we go a little more awakened and a little more enlightened. Thank you so much for joining us here and making this entire beautiful evening more eventful and memorable. Thank you one and all, and hope you found it really valuable to be joining us here at this forum. Thank you once again. Please join us for cocktail and dinners. And this is Sangeeta Singh, your host, signing off. Good night and goodbye. Have a safe life and indeed a safe drive. Thank you.